been talking about 6-ball arsenals for a very long time, but I never actually explained them. So let's do that quick. So what is the 6-ball arsenal scale? So this is a scale created by Chris Barnes where you have 6 bowling ball slots that you fill up, which generally hits most categories that you'll ever need at a tournament or in league. This isn't going to cover all of them. This does exclude urethane balls and plastic balls. So you can bring more balls than this, you can bring less. It depends on the person. This is a very generalized scale if you're starting an arsenal from scratch or want to fill in holes based on everything that you own. So there are 6 arsenal spots that we're going to talk about. The first one being the strong and smooth category. This is going to be the strongest bowling ball you own and the slowest. This is generally asymmetrical solid bowling balls. It can be asymmetrical pearls if they're sanded, or really strong symmetrical solids. So some examples that we've used in videos are the Gem, the Hammer Extreme Envy, the Motive Evoke, things like that. Asymmetrical, very, very strong. They're going to hook early and they're going to be very smooth. Second category is going to be the strong and sharp category. These are generally going to be asymmetrical pearl or asymmetrical shiny bowling balls. They're going to be ones that you go to when your strong asymmetrical solid is starting to die out, starting to leave a lot more corner pins. So this is going to be something that hooks pretty early because the core is big yet, but it's shiny enough to get through the first 30-ish feet. Balls that are going to fit in this slot are going to be the Theorem, Virtual Energy Blackout, Attention Star, Crimson Jackal, things like that. These are generally also going to be some of the best balls for house shots. Next up, the 3 slot is going to be the medium and smooth category. So this is what I generally consider the benchmark slot. This is going to be your benchmark bowling ball. This is going to be the first ball out of the bag, the most versatile piece, the middle of all of your options. So balls like this tend to be symmetrical and solid or symmetrical and hybrid. So options are going to be the Phase 2, the Optimum Idol, the Venom Shock, the Game Breaker 5, the Scorpion Low Flare, and so on and so on. Next category, the 4 slot, is going to be the medium and sharp category. This is generally symmetrical pearl bowling balls or just shiny symmetrical balls. These are going to be ones that you go to when your symmetrical solid is starting to hook a little too early or be too smooth. You generally need to play a little further left with these bowling balls. So options in this slot are going to be things like the Sublime, the Hyper Venom, the Troublemaker Pearl, things like that. The number 5 slot is going to be the weak and smooth category. This is going to be a lot of low-end, solid, symmetrical bowling balls. These are balls that you aren't going to use that often. In my opinion, this is the least important slot in the 6-ball arsenal because there aren't many situations these are going to be that viable. The first 4 slots are going to be the most important. The bottom 2, not as important. Things that are going to fit here are like the Hustle X-Ray, the Arctic Vibe, the Max Thrill Solid. Finally, the number 6 slot is going to be the weak and sharp category. These are going to be the bottom of the bag options when the lanes are absolutely torched and you need something that is going to get down lane and still knock out corner pins and not hook too early. You're going to go to this. This is low-end, symmetrical, shiny bowling balls, usually balls that range in like the $120-ish category. So these are the cheapest balls you can buy and usually where arsenals begin. Things that fit here are going to be any kind of shiny Hustle, Max Thrill Pearl, the Ocean Vibe, any of the Raw series. These are just going to be balls that don't hook very much when there's a lot of oil, but if there's not much oil, you're going to be able to get left and throw it into the friction, and this thing should still boom back. Now, like I mentioned, we are ignoring urethane bowling balls and plastic bowling balls. Starting with urethane bowling balls, these are going to be a necessity on many very difficult tournament patterns. If you're a fan of the PBA, you know these guys throw it constantly. It is a staple in everybody's bag. I would recommend one if you bowl tournaments. Then for plastic bowling balls, these are going to be your spare ball in some way. Some people just use any of their regular bowling balls. Some people use urethanes. Other people have a dedicated plastic ball for spare shooting. So if you are having a problem with spares, or you're just a general person who wants to hit a 10-pin, I'd recommend a plastic ball. I'll be covering more 6-ball arsenals in the future, so make sure to follow down below if you want to see more videos just like this.